Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone, how are you all today? So welcome again to our course with Mindset 212. So in the last lesson we learned how to build a good research question. Today we continue with the next important step is exploring the scientific literature. So this lesson will show you how to search, where to search, and how to read abstract critically. So why literature review matter? Before starting any project you must know what has already been done. So this is called a literature review. يعني كتشوف الابحاث اللي تجا دارو كتحاول تقلب على نقاط تاع الضعف في كل بحث باش تقدر دير واحد الحاجه جديده في داك النقطه بالضبط. داكو. So it shows you the gaps, the places where knowledge is missing, and these gaps are where you can make your own contribution. And of course it gives you a strong base for your methodology to learn from the mistakes of previous studies. Okay, so let's move to the main medical databases. So let's look at the most important medical databases. We have first PubMed and Medline. So it's the main free database with more than 34 million citations from biomedical journals worldwide. It includes research articles, reviews, case reports, and guidelines. Second, we have Cochrane Library. So it's the gold standard for systematic reviews and meta-analysis. So if you want high quality evidence about treatment's effectiveness, start here. Then we have Embase. It covers more European journals and lots of drug research and conference abstract. It updates quickly but usually needs institutional access. So that's the problem with Embase. So then we have Google Scholar. It's not specialized but very broad, free, and sometimes we find papers that the other miss. It also shows citation counts so you can spot influential papers. So now let's move to the important part. It's the search strategy. It's the keywords. Okay, so to search well you need good keywords. Use medical terms like mesh in PubMed. Try synonyms and different spellings. And for drugs I advise you to include both generic and brand names. Okay, and include also the population you want, for example pediatrics, adults, or Moroccan, etc. So now let's move to something technical that will help you in your search strategy. It's the Boolean operators. Okay, so the Boolean operators help you combine keywords. We have three types: and, or, and note. For and, it narrows your search. For example, we can search diabetes and exercises, so you'll find papers with both. Okay, and or it's broadened. Okay, for example hypertension or high blood pressure, you will find either term. Okay, and not to exclude. Okay, for example heart surgery, not pediatric, so we will remove children. Okay, you can also use quotation mark for exact phrase, for example metabolic syndrome. Okay, and for example if you're searching diabetes in Morocco you can try diabetes and Morocco, or diabetes management and North Africa, or and developing countries. Okay, so start broad then narrow. So now let's move to the practical part, how to read an abstract. So now let's practice reading an abstract. I've chosen a simple surgical abstract from PubMed about laparoscopic cholecystectomy. So now let's analyze it together step by step. First of all, you should identify the study type. Is it a randomized trial, a cohort, a case series, or a case report, or just a technical description? In our example, it's a technical paper describing a new way to do the operation. Okay. Second, we should extract key information. What is new? In this abstract, they reduced the technique from 4 incision to 2 incision, so they describe where the trocars go. After that, assess the evidence level. So we can notice here there are no numbers, no patient outcomes, and no complication rates. So that's a very low level of evidence. Then you can ask critical questions. How many patients used this technique? Were there complications? And is it really better or just different? And also for practical implications, so this abstract tells you about a possible technique but it does not prove it better. To make clinical decision you would need studies with actual patient data. Now let's talk about red flags in abstract. So we can watch out for vague language like good results without numbers, missing sample size or statistics, overstated conclusion claiming superiority without data, and missing methodology details. What makes a strong abstract? Clear study design, specific numbers, honest reporting of limitations, and conclusions that match the data. Okay, so let's move to a quick search exercise. So if you want to search the effectiveness of telemedicine in diabetes management, you can try telemedicine diabetes. So you can start broad and then add specifics. For example, telemedicine and diabetes management and outcomes. Or try alternatives like telehealth or remote monitoring, and diabetic patients. Narrow by population, you can add and plus Morocco or and developing countries. You can also filter by study type. You can add and randomized control trial, systematic reviews for high quality evidence. In conclusion, remember, literature review is not about reading everything, it's about reading in a smart way. So start with recent systematic reviews and high quality studies, then work backward to foundational papers. So the key takeaways from today: always start your research with a good literature review, combine all databases, master Boolean operators for efficient insertion, read abstract critically. So not everything published is high quality evidence, and of course the important thing is to look for gaps, and that's where you can start. So in our next lesson we will move on to study design, and tomorrow I will send you some exercises to do it for Saturday, inshallah. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this lesson, and as always, stay curious, keep asking questions, and see you soon in the next lesson, inshallah.